So let me ask you something. When someone lands in your room, what's the first thing that they think about your room? You probably don't know because viewers won't tell you what they think. Most of them. The hardest truth in live streaming is that people leave because they can. People leave because they just can. But the question you should be asking yourself is, are you showing them the door? Let's take a look at a few examples of the entry and exit point in this chaotic viewer behavior when it comes to live streaming.
TikTok gods know you might like what's going on in the room. If you want to meet some new friends, let us know. We'll put you up on stage right here and everyone will get to know you. There are 59 people. Uh-oh. Care Bear. Come on, clown. I got you, Gare. Gare said, hey, how about getting me in there for that t-shirt? Gare, you want that t-shirt, don't you? I'm gonna get you one. Gonna get you one. All right.
Let me pause right here because just like that, in 30 seconds, between 10 to 30 seconds, actually, that's the amount of time you have to gain that viewer. So this is the entry point of a viewer coming into your live stream. And they are trying to decide if this is worth even a few more seconds of their time. So the room does not have much time to earn that attention. And when you think about when you're streaming, think about it in the sense of how a viewer comes into a stream. This is the subconscious thinking right now. And the viewer thought is, I just landed in here. What's happening? Do I like the energy? And ultimately, is this for me? That's what they're trying to figure out. Now, let's just say, as a viewer, this particular viewer just decided, okay, I'm going to stay neutral and I'm going to give this host a chance. Neutral meaning the viewer has, they have not made a decision, a real decision yet, whether or not they like this host or not. So the viewer thought is, I'm not leaving just yet, but I'm still deciding if it's worth my attention. So let's move forward with that.
Gare, I got you for two. I got you from one from yesterday and one for today. These are my viewer wishes right here. This is a bit of a part-time job, you know. It's not easy sitting behind it. It's not just sitting here. So a lot that goes into it. So this is how I kind of recoup a little bit. But I give back to you.
We might need Jeff's help to make Gear Bear a shirt that says Dapper Tapper.
Oh, good idea. Let me know if Cheryl comes in here if I don't see her. Jeff. Gear Bear needs a dap.
Let's pause here. And this is the moment where viewers are typically reading the room. If they have stayed this far, past 10, past 30 seconds, past 40 seconds, and they get to that 1 minute mark, typically they're reading the room, still unsure though. And it's not because they are looking for the host to explain everything about the room, but they are trying to still understand what is this environment about. So this is why I take the position that you must have an environment set up that should communicate what the room is about without you having to actually speak to that. Now, of course, granted, it does help to say it out loud, what you do as a live host, but it helps even more psychologically when there's indicators in the room, such as maybe a title above you, or there's some actual practical objects around the room that showcases what you do. These are the things that TV shows, movies, they do throughout the movie to showcase to you what's happening in a scene. So if you walked into a movie theater late, chances are you know what's going on by virtue of the psychology of the scene. Here's the viewer's thoughts at this moment in time. I'm looking for something that I like. I want to know what kind of room this is. Still, and I'm trying to figure out the tone of this room. And ultimately, I want to understand if I play a role, because if I play a role, I just may stay. If I'm an active viewer, and we'll get into the two differences between the active and the passive viewer in some later videos. So let's go ahead and say, if I made it this far, a minute in, I'm going to stay just for a moment.
Tapper t-shirt. I got to come up with a graphic. Savage, what's going on, Savage? What you up to? Viewer wishes, guys, the end of a week, the weekly bonus right here. If you get in for that at the end of the week, which is technically tomorrow, I'm going to love away something from my goodie box.
𝐂𝐈𝐕𝐄.
There's a lot of good stuff in there. There's cologne, there's perfume, there's skincare, there's there's a Bluetooth speaker. There's all kinds of fun things in that box. I can show you if you want to see. Also, go on, Priscilla. Get it, girl. She said, give me in there. All right, Priscilla, I'm gonna give you another tickie into the end of week. Appreciate you, girlfriend. And the end of live. Every 25K taps, we're gonna play a game. And we're gonna pick the 3 top players from the game. They're gonna go into my little bowl over here. Thanks for the follow.
And Gary Fernandez, you're welcome. You deserve
Kristen,
all
thanks
the
for the
love that comes
repost.
your way.
100%. Your tickies are gonna go to my little bowl, and at the end of the live, we're gonna pull a winner out of the bowl, and you're gonna get to pick a couple things. You can get a custom pen, you can pick a piece of jewelry, because I am independent BP jewelry rep.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
If you want some bling, you gotta play the games, which means we gotta get the taps up to 25K. We have our morning horoscopes. We have Priscilla, who is our moderator. She's also a live host, and she's currently at work. And Priscilla likes to go into the bathroom and give us a little call, and then she's gonna do the Bean Boozled challenge, which is a lot of fun for us.
I'm going to point out something really quick here. In my assessment, I think the host is doing a pretty good job in helping the chat understand her room, how to engage with her room, and how she will respond back to that engagement. How she will respond back to people who are willing to be active in the chat, to tap, to share. And this is what you need to bring to the table when it comes to an active viewer. Someone who comes to a live and they are looking to be active and to be a part of the experience. You want to give them some observation on how to do that. And she's doing a pretty decent job in showcasing, you know, her rules, and she's doing it in a way so that a viewer can understand, okay, I understand the room, and I also understand what I'm supposed to do while I'm in this room. So at this point in time, from my assessment, she has a really active style room for an active viewer.
She's been getting good beans lately.
At Williams_creations, no stealing folk.
No stealing, folk. Wait a minute, what are we stealing? Yeah, what's going on? I missed it. Williams muted. Oh yeah, he's muted. What do you say? All right, Priscilla's ready for the bathroom. All right, Priscilla. Let's get you on up in the box, girl. I gotta turn my viewer wishes off first. Remind me, guys, to put them back on. You know I'll forget.
And one other thing I will add to this as well is for the passive viewer being the person who wants to look at a live without being forced to engage in chat, forced to tap the screen, and they want to experience the host in the way that someone would consume TV. You as a live host have to understand that these people exist, that these people also want to be part of your room, but do you make space for them to be there? Is it a requirement for everyone to do the same thing? That's something that you have to think about, whether or not you're willing to have that conversation in your room, because you could unknowingly dismiss a passive viewer because you're looking for the taps, you're looking for the likes, you're looking for the shares, and you're looking for people to engage every moment. Well, the passive viewer is just not going to do that. The passive viewer wants to watch you like they're watching Netflix. I think this is a good conversation when it comes to how to build out that attention and how to stay connected with both the active and the passive viewer.
All right, Priscilla, get your butt.
I muted him trying to get folk to DM him.
Ew, creepy. We don't like that. All right, we got Priscilla in the building. Priscilla's in the building. And she's shrimpy. Let me get her up here. Get up here in the big box. Boom. Hey, girl. Hey, you look so cute today.
Rocking out some gold today.
Priscilla's wearing colors, guys. We usually see her in black. Welcome in.
It's a sundress with the sweatshirt. It gets a little cold.
Wait a
here,
minute.
yeah, but it's a sundress.
Rewind. You have a dress on? Look
Hot
at
damn
you.
wifey.
Ooh, we got to see some leg. Okay. Oh, you're so cute. We love our Priscilla. Hot damn, wifey.
Usually you take off the sweatshirt here.
Pop it. Boop, boop, boop. That's a booty clapper. You got on a booty clapper. That's what my husband will call it. How's Elvis, Priscilla? All right. So this is your ticky. Oh, I just dropped your ticky on the floor. All right, got you. Oh, Axel's farting again, guys, just so you know. Hey, so what's new? Are you going live today, yeah?
Yes, I am. From a different cemetery.
4:30? Damn it, I'm going to be live at 5.
I'm going on at 4.
So that's 5 my time. All right.
Yeah.
Dang it.
You can
I'm going to miss it.
hop in for a little.
I can try. Well, I'm going on at 5 and you're going on at 4, so that's exactly the same time. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to visit you real quick. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So let me pause right here. This is a very pivotal moment inside of a live stream at about the 5-minute mark, because I just want you to follow along with me. A viewer has entered the live, and that viewer has made it past 10 seconds, past 30 seconds, and on to a minute of watching a host. Now, although the viewer started off as being neutral, once you get past that 1 minute mark, they have a subconscious thought that maybe this is for me. So we consider them someone as staying for a while. We consider them someone who's still testing the waters, right? So here's the perspective. If you notice, this host now has a co-host. Let me showcase how chaotic the viewer behavior is. If you're dealing with a viewer that particularly came in the room for you, then that viewer starts to get introduced to this new nuance that's inside of your show that they're not completely sure of what's happening. It's possible you'll lose them. It's absolutely possible you'll lose them, because if the viewer came in the room and the viewer was sold on who you are, and they have still not gotten into that reinforcement stage, which the reinforcement stage is, I fully understand the room now. I fully trust you as a host. And now I'm willing to stay just a tad more longer. But now the nuance is, now I have to figure out this other thing that's happening. Now, this is no fault of a host. The host is trying to entertain the room. But this is how chaotic the viewer behavior is, and why, as a live host, you have to understand these nuances, because it does not mean that you necessarily did anything wrong, but you do have to understand from a psychological standpoint, are you showing people the door throughout your show? So be specific and strategic when you do your co-host. Are there specific times that you need to do your co-host? That way you give people a moment with you and they understand you before you start to interject other people into your world, because you are at the center of your world when you are the live host. And you want to keep it that way because people ultimately subscribe to you. So let's just say, as a viewer, this person has now made the decision to exit. And so this host would have lost that viewer. Just some things to think about. So let's try another video here.
You play something like that. It's giving those vibes. Welcome in, Heather. Welcome in, Positive Fitness 1. I know that's right. Yo, go.
Here we are at the 30-second mark again. And subconsciously, here are the viewer thoughts. I just landed here. What is happening? Do I like the energy? And am I willing to stay long enough to figure this out? And let's just say, because I do understand what's going on in the room, I'm willing to be neutral about staying. And when I say going on in the room, as a viewer, again, subconsciously, I may not need to hear you say what the room is, but I need some cue points. First thing I notice on your profile, 21 plus. I know that she's doing some type of critiquing of people. And there's probably some dark humor involved as well. So I may like that type of thing. And actually, I've seen this type of content on TikTok a lot of times, and it does very well, where somebody critiques a profile pic or critiques different things. People just like to be critiqued. And people just want to have a good laugh, because sometimes hosts are very brutal with their opinion. They're very honest. So I may like that. So let's just say that I'm going to consider myself a neutral viewer at this point and continue.
You never had a family, your home was abandoned. That was your chance to fix your curse. That's the part of the story that make it worse.
Guys, there are 12 people in here, 13 people in here. If you are not yapping or tapping, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to say something in the chat or you are getting booted. The plug next door, I see you tapping. The positive, I see you.
I'm going to pause right there. Here's a great example of understanding audiences. There's active viewers and there's passive viewers. This viewer perhaps may be a passive viewer. I don't want to tap the screen. I don't want to engage. I want to watch. You lost that viewer. No fault of the host if you want a full community of only active viewers. But if you truly want to build a following of all types of viewers, in my assessment, you also have to give the passive viewer a way to stay inside of your room as well. Let's check out the next video.
What's up, fandom? How was your day today? Fandom.
Let's pause right here. So this is Epic Studios app. And I will say, Epic Studios app is a very unique app, and it's probably one of the hardest apps to stream on if you are a streamer, because you do need community to actually survive and be successful on this app. But if you are in a community or have a community, you can do very well financially on this app because they give you 80% of the proceeds, which is very unheard of in this streaming space. But one of the things I want to point out about this first 30 seconds is the viewer comes into the room, the person immediately acknowledges them, which is good. So let's just say I'm willing to stay. They spoke, came in the room. I'm a neutral viewer at this point.
Talk to me now. Appreciate you for that. Thank you. What's up with you?
All right, we're at that 1 minute mark right here. The viewer is thinking, I'm looking for something I like. What kind of room is this? Do I like the tone of this room? And what role do I play? To be quite honest with you, I do not understand what this room is about. And here's the perspective. What I would offer the host of this room is, maybe if you don't want to say over and over what the room is about, you put something behind you that could showcase that to the viewer. Maybe this is just a personal space where you just click the live button and you're just interacting with different people just to pass your time. And that's okay too, because live does not always have to be about business. But I always take the position that if you're going to spend your time on a live platform and they're getting paid off of you, then you should be getting paid as well. So we just have to change our mindset in how we are perceiving what we are doing. So for this host, I would say he needs to clarify exactly what his room is about in some way, either practical around him or verbally if someone is coming in the room.
What you got going on, fam? What's got going on tonight? Hey. I was trying to get it out of here. I want the dead president. I want to pull up, head spin, get fly. I got 6 jobs. I don't get time. I don't get time. I don't get time. I don't get time. I got 6 jobs. I don't get time. Full-time artist, 𝐂𝐀𝐂𝐑𝐍 said grind hard and learn from every time. You ever fail, never fail, just grind smarter.
So let's pause it right here. And I wanted this to play out for a little bit here to showcase in real time what live streaming can be sometimes. And I also want to give a shout out to live streamers. At the end of the day, live streaming is very, very difficult. It's difficult in the sense that, yes, you can press the go live button, but to maintain energy and to maintain a entertainment value at all times is very, very difficult. Very difficult. So it gets quiet. It gets quiet in moments like this. So I wanted to point this out and showcase that not every room is going to be super entertaining. If you see the difference between the first room that we were in versus this room, these are two different perspectives in rooms. One is not necessarily better than the other. It comes down to viewer taste, because another viewer may come in and say, hey, I like this vibe. I like that I'm just coming into a room and I can just relax and just chill and hang out with this guy. So everything doesn't have to be put together like a show. Here's the perspective. Just keep in mind the tone of your room, because if you understand how to showcase what you do without having to overdo it in a room such as this, where it's just your personal space, you still have to give the viewer an understanding enough where they can think to themselves, okay, I think I understand the room right now and I'm willing to stay. And this is a showcase of how chaotic the viewer behavior is.